saying no has been the hardest thing, because there are a lot of great projects out there, and it's great when they want you, but is that you constantly have to think about what is the long-term goal? How do you want to spend your time, over the next year? Because really, we're really committing a lot.
This brings me to another idea that I want to get into that's more about the chess mindset versus checkers, which is that when you're playing a game of chess, and the ironic thing is here, and I think you would agree with me, I actually know very little about the game of chess. And I know that you've talked about how you're like, I don't really understand chess either, right? But when it comes to the theory and idea and strategy of chess, I love it. And it's this idea that you have to make a lot of sacrifices along the way. And I think that the most important word or important words that you have to focus on in navigating your career path are yes and no. Yes can be a really dangerous word, and no can be a very liberating word. So in your journey, can you think of more than one instance where the word no actually got you to where you are now?
Oh boy, dear. I mean, the word no has been a practice that I've had to get used to in recent years. So it's sort of relatively new for me, I want to say. I want to say it's been new since, we got to think about this now. It's been new. Boy, when I think about it, what was maybe it was Godless. Maybe it was prior to that. I don't remember, but I know it's the last 2 or 3, 4 years where I know, the body of work is now speaking for itself. I have enough history with a number of people that, if jobs are available, I'm going to be offered some, or at least knowing that they're there for me to try to go for. And saying no has been the hardest thing, because there are a lot of great projects out there, and it's great when they want you, but is that you constantly have to think about what is the long-term goal? How do you want to spend your time, over the next year? Because really, we're really committing a lot. You're committing your time, but you're also committing your brain energy. You're living in that world, whatever world you decide, the story you're going to tell. So that's important too. And career-wise, is what I'm doing here, not that you really know where the thing is going to lead you, because we never really know. But what can you get out of that time, either educational or whatever, relationships. And there's just so many variables. And I have to say, saying no, there's been a number of times where I've said no, I've pissed people off, and I'm getting better at not pissing people off because I just say no earlier, or I don't get to the word no because somebody else says it before me, before we even go down the path. Love my agent. Thank you, Brady. So, you know what I mean? So I'm getting better at arriving. And the only way you know that no is if you know where you want to go. You can't, if you know what the goal is, it's so much easier to be like, no, that's not that, not that, not that. And all of a sudden, when you've emptied your cup, you can fill it up again with the things that you actually want. Because the thing is if you keep entertaining these ideas of projects that, doesn't really, fit what your ultimate goal is, or to you, like, may not be what you want to do that, right now. Maybe you just want to do something completely different. And yet they might be very good projects and very valuable and worthwhile, but you're not, because you're hanging on to them, you're not able to open yourself up to something new that might be better for you.
And that to me is the key. I think that you nailed it there. Is by saying yes to everything, you're actually saying no to potentially better opportunities down the road.
Oh yeah, it's always
because you're afraid, right? You're just afraid that maybe that might not come. And I want to play the devil's advocate for a second, because I know there's at least somebody listening that's a little bit younger, earlier in their career, and they're saying, "Give me a break." Michelle Tesoro and Zack Arnold, who've edited Queen's Gambit and Cobra Kai and all these shows, of course, they can say no, but I'm just starting my career. I've been saying no since I was in high school. The reason I am where I am is because of a very specific string of no's, and I bet that even though you've only honed the skill in the last few years, you are better at it early in your career than you might have thought.